Welcome to our weekly new global media talk show. Today is December 31st, New Year's Eve, and today we are blessed to have our young writer, Safia Juf. She's on her new book, Awards on War, and we're gonna explore what inspired her to write this book and what is our career as a writer, what is the journey, and she was gonna explain that as well. And also she will tell us a little bit about her previous work that she published. So as a writer myself, I kind of feel connected in this area. So this will be a good discussion. And I have my co-host here, Sam Ceesay, Sam Indiana. Welcome, Sam. And I'm your host here, Momodou Sawaneh in New York. Safia, welcome. We're gonna go straight into it. Can you give us a little bit introduction about yourself? Who is Safia Jove? I mean, I see your book signing all over the place, and I wanted to know because am clueless about who you are. I'm pretty sure Sam too is clueless. Can you give us, and our audience too would like to know who is Safia Jove, and can you give us a little bit background? Then we can go into the book.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, this is a great opportunity today to have you guys on board. I am Safia too, by my name, but most of the people call me Safia Juf. And my pen name.
That's what I just call you. I didn't even know that because that's the short version of it. Yeah.
Yes. I decided to use that name because it's very, very precise for people to, pronounce my name easily. I'm a poet and an activist. Again, I'm studying computer science at the American International University. A writer, that is into business as well. I have my personal business that I'm running that is Bridge Properties. I do venture into construction, rental of houses, etc. And again, I'm a very key person who is interested into writing poetry in specific. And I guess my pen name has been into existence for over 7 years now because I started writing. Gambian started noticing more often of my work in 2014. So alhamdulillah, that's simply me.
Thank you. You mentioned few quiet things here that is kind of like that make my head spin a little bit. You are a computer science major. I mean, like that was my background until recently.
Wow,
I become
that's interesting.
Yeah, 22
it's
years.
It's a beautiful field. So most often people would say, you're a computer science student and you're into writing. Why not you quit it and go into literature and other, major English? I said to them, this is a field that I admired a lot. And since I was young, I never dreamed of becoming a writer. But, the family that I'm from most of the time and the people, around me push me into reading daily. And this really triggered me to start writing.
Wow. Yeah, it's kind of comes a little bit head spinning when you tell somebody, well, like you tell somebody I'm computer science, I'm a computer, a network engineer or some kind of science student or so, and all of a sudden you are into writing. And I have a similar story like you. I went to Hermitage High School, graduated. I was a science student there. Came to United States and I studied computer information systems, and I went to Pace University for my master's and studied that and get master's in computer science and computer information system. Now working in IT as a network engineer for 2 years.
I want to become a data engineer.
Look at that. See, that is so having to discover while I was working for the district attorney's office, I wrote a poem for someone. And then they said, wow, this is so this thing, like on the positive
unique. That's the basic aspect of it. When I first told my sister that I want to quit the field and go into literature specific on English, to major English, she said, no, we are in a world where technology is really vibrant. It's very, very important for you to have your maths bachelor degree in computer science. So most often, when I watch today a world, the direction that we are going through, I'm even thinking of shifting to AI, that is artificial intelligence, because I often want to get into things that are very, very rare for women to venture into it. And to be unique in the society as well, to not just be in a field that everybody is focusing on, but to be completely different. Because this is the aim that I ever since as a child. Growing up in a family where some are computers mastered in, others are arts, and I said I'm going to go into science. So my sister was like, you think you can get into that field? I said yes, because I want to be different in everything that I'm doing. So this is what triggered me to go into the science field.
So that is very true. And similarly, I also went to science computers when I came from the Gambia 1992. That time computer is booming. And I felt like even before I left the Gambia, I said, I'm gonna do my studies in that because it was a new technology coming in and everybody was talking about it. This is the era of computers and so forth. So that's what got me into it as well. And I was lucky to even get a job before I graduated from my bachelor's in the field of IT, which is something also, I mean, like whoever is in IT, you gotta get your foot in the door before you graduate, because otherwise, if you don't have hands-on, it's really difficult to degree alone in IT will not get you a job. So I was lucky to be the only person in that class to actually get handpicked and then be sent to an internship, which turned out to be that the district attorney's office IT department liked me during that 6 months of internship, doing my credits out,
Great.
and then I was offered a job. Surprisingly, before I grad 1 year before I graduated. So it is one thing to have a degree in it, and it's a different thing to have hands-on. So because there are
Yeah.
people who are taking certification, yes, you have a degree will put you at an advantage in terms of promotion,
Mhm.
but with people with certification will get the job before you. So that's something that I just want
Very
to throw
true.
out there, especially for anybody. This is for anybody who is in the IT. If you don't get your hands dirty on it, having the degree alone will not really work. So do some kind of internship or some kind of things to get you into the real touching it and doing the work. Yeah.
I guess you're not the only person who advised, generally towards this
No, I know.
area. Because I met with Dr. Ismaila Ceesay and we had a chat, and he told me, don't venture only into computer science. Try and go into something that is completely different. And he even advises me towards the AI, and I research more about it. And I say, okay, this will be very interesting for me to go into it, because our world is revolving around the robotic world, and therefore time is coming. A lot of job system will be shift. So I guess young people, it's high time we venture into science. And it doesn't. I'm trying to tell people that it doesn't mean that you have to be a science student and then you will not be able to be a writer. You can blend both. I've been into the writing field and I'm learning every day. And this is not just I didn't do it through the classroom. No, I did it a part-time thing, and I enjoy every bit of it. I make sure partly in everything that I'm doing, I want something perfect, and therefore I don't just focus myself on what the teachers has given me in class, but I go beyond that limit of what they are trying to teach me.
Exactly. Tom, you want to add something to that?
Wonderful, wonderful. Yep, yep. Looks like she's on the right track, and definitely admire her for that. And like Mr. Sawaneh was saying, a degree is one thing. Getting the experience is another. And so definitely get a hands-on, get some experience in what you do. It's always a good thing because, like we always say, experience is the best teacher. So getting some experience into whatever you want to do in the future is a great thing. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So quickly before we get into that, so it looks like we're still paddling around. We just get into the substance itself, the meat and the beef of the
Yes.
discussion, which is your book, Words on War. Words on War, you know, it kind of whoever hears that, you would think of words on war, you know, what would that mean? If you don't read the synopsis of the book, you would be like, I'm curious to know what are words on what. Can you explain this to us, the book?
Okay.
You don't have to
What's
tell
on
us
war?
you don't have to tell us everything, so because we want to buy the book and read it. So
Okay. So simply the Watson war, I'm trying to refer to the rhymes of the wardens in the poetic lines. Okay. But I focus more into African poetry because that aspect really represents my originality. And again, looking at our African community and the issues that are happening, I thought of it that they need a voice to speak on issues that are very, very key in our society. And simply the Watson word means that is in the local language, kumabakelela kumakono. And when that happens, we more focus on the side of the rhymes into the poems. Kumabakelela kumakono.
Ada mo man ko di ba mo faham. So explain more the ba. I need to upgrade my mandik a little bit. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
That is the rhymes.
You're frozen a little bit.
Yeah, is somebody's calling me.
Oh,
I'm sorry about it.
no.
Yeah, so that's the main focus of the book. Kumabakelela kumakono, that is the rhymes in the poems, the wordings.
Okay. All right. So the book, what is the book actually about?
It focuses on the issues that we have around us as Gambians. And I venture into selling Gambia because I did a tour before writing the synopsis of some of the topics I've chosen. And again, I venture into researching deeply some of the key people that I've seen that they have done extremely well for us in the Gambia. The late people like Seh Jibril Kujabi and the late vice president of the Gambia, that is Dr. Bassirou, and the likes of Momodou. So again, when I talk about the heroes, I do mention of Rahima Ali Low, the likes of how will I say? Okay, Ajame Munaya Dalu Savage, because I've seen a lot of her work in terms of Islam and everything. And I think like really, as young people, we need to look into such women's activities and see what they're venturing into. That's what I can say has covered the entire book.
Okay. So is this a fiction or this is the non-fiction?
Is it a?
Is it a fiction or non-fiction?
It's a non-fiction book. Everything I talk about in the book is factual.
Okay. And then the idea of the book is to bring out people who have done extremely well in our society.
Yeah.
And then in what
And
sense?
together with the issues we are facing when it comes to in terms of corruption, we talk about the prostitution in the society today, young people, how exposed that they're going all out, doing certain things that are not in line with our deen. And when to talk about the issue of rape cases that are, happening currently, and maybe for those people that I believe their voice need to be heard, and for people to understand the need for us to distance ourselves from such kind of act. So I make each of these topics pregnant meaning in each topic, I try to talk about different things in a different aspect.
So in relating to the people that you are mentioning, how are you connecting those to this topic? Are you giving them as a role model, or are you giving?
Yeah, I'm giving them in a status of role model, and that's why I named them category on the side of the heroes and the heroine of the Gambia, and I had the lead heroes and heroine, in within the Gambia.
In relate to the issues
Again,
that we are facing.
one of the issues we are facing is corruption scandals in most of our departments today, which is a big blow for our government to actually act on it before it will be too late. Because we have a lot of money that we don't have answered for. We don't know where it is because we don't see it yet. I mean, we can say partly, yeah, we have seen it, but a majority of it we haven't seen that.
Did you go directly and point fingers where the issues are, or you are just
I generally talk about it.
On the show.
I didn't go directly to mention anyone's name, but I generally caption that.
So what is that? What is the aim of that? I mean, it's awareness, bringing awareness, but besides bringing awareness, if you are not getting, talking about something.
Okay, in here, what I try to figure out is, as government official, we should have the desire towards our country to distance ourselves from certain issues that we believe, okay, you have such accessibility towards certain things. In order for you to put it in the interest of the Gambia, it serves as a kickback for the advantage of other people. So I topic it like prompt layer, meaning the moment you see a bribery going on or whatever, just try to be honest and understand that you are working for Gambia. And if you do it, you are not affecting only the government, but entirely all of us as a country. And again, I did a topic on the eating, and I said, I weep, meaning the pain that I'm feeling in my heart towards this kind of act, and seeing officials, being mentioned into certain scandal is just heartbreaking, and it will be very, very, very important as a society to respect that dignity that people have towards you, the personality. At the end of the day, part of your name in certain issues is very disheartening. So that is one aspect too. And part of it, and I do vent on my anger again, and I call that topic anger. And I discourse into details what that anger means to us. And again, I'll talk about corruption itself, what it does in a country as a topic, subtopic. And then I said the poor mind, meaning the mentality. So the book is really detailed.
Wow. So you are using poetic approaches, and using what is happening, from the layman points of view, and trying to having heroes, and heroines who actually could be model in kind of solving those kind of issues.
Thank you. I'm trying to connect it. Okay, look at these people with the records that they have and how they're moving on without having any stain of corruption under their names. But we look into the different aspect of it, and I am sad because a majority of us could have, we could have been like them, and I don't see nothing that's supposed to stop us. Not learning from that.
Right. Before I let Sam come in, you have different topics beside corruption, but corruption alone, wouldn't that have been even alone an entire book on this? Because that is our main problem. Other things, you can talk about prostitution, you can talk about other things, but that thing that you hit right there, that could be 2 books or 3 books without even going anywhere. You didn't think about that.
Yeah, I thought about it. Maybe next year I will try to introduce some things, but for now, um, I decided to make the book pregnant in a sense that in each topic, I will just give Gambians a little bit of touch towards it and move to another topic.
Okay. So you did it, you kind of introduced them because each and every topic like those, especially the prostitution now, is another
Alarming
topic
thing.
of its own. Yeah.
Thank you. And you come on the side of the dress code. Today generation, before and now, what is happening? The way we dress our kids
Right.
as parents,
Right.
which
And
is
that,
very ugly. So
right.
again, what is the role of the parent into that child life? Because you'll be questioned on the day of judgment. When Allah granted you this, how do you play your part in it?
So just for a tip, and before Sam comes, as a writer, since you do
Mhm.
nonfiction, right? I haven't started writing nonfiction yet, but there's a tons of issues in our community that is totally wrong. Even the back way alone, the human trafficking is another topic. Millions of
Yeah,
topics out there. It's the same as the topics we discuss here at Sam every day. Each one of those can be a book of its own. So I think this is great, your start, of having to put multiple topic there just to give them the taste. But I think moving forward, it would be nice if you can just focus on one and then bring out everything. And then you don't have to call names because you don't want to be liable or you don't want to be sued or whatever.
of
I mean,
course.
if you don't have the factual information, but I think you can show evidence and you can do research and bring out,
That will be a hectic work. As a starter, luñ dee wax la xale la maa ngi raam dama raam nañ xaar rek lu si kanam rawut bët. What is
as a
forward is
kind of
bigger
roll
than
good
what.
kind.
Yes, we are hoping a lot of things will be. I've discovered new way of speaking, and that is towards. I don't know others, but from my side, poetry is a very influential tool today in our
Right.
Gambian society.
And then I'm gonna come one more time if I let Sam come. The advantage that you have, and even more than us, other writers, you have poetry aspect of it. So you are writing on issues and then you making poetic connotations,
Out of it.
out of it. That is powerful. I think you have so much power, in your writing.
Masha Allah wa ta'ala minna.
Yeah. So yeah, Sam, you can come in. I'm talking about Sam because again, this is just my area, kind of. I don't want to exclude you, but I'm very passionate about writing, and then that's why I'm asking many questions like that. But go ahead, Sam.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I enjoyed that conversation, and Sophia,
Thank you.
I would say that I'm really proud of you for what you're doing and what you've done so far. And the sky is the limit for you. Definitely, the sky is the limit. That all the topics that you touched on, like Sawaneh said, could be opened up, could be expanded into a whole new book. And corruption is one of my favorite topics that I always talk about as well. So, when you said corruption, I was like, wow, that is something that I've said quite a bit on, from my WhatsApp forum group that spread it out and went there all over, is very interesting. And in fact, it's probably the number one problem we have in Africa. And then coming to Gambia is our number one problem. If we can
Yeah,
handle corruption and curtail corruption and get it under control, we can sustain ourselves in that small country. Gambia
indeed.
is so small. I mean, with the taxes that we collect, the grants that we receive, we don't need to get loans. We don't even need to get loans. We can just
Yeah,
live within our income based on the taxes that we collect. And if we can manage those and go outside of the box and be creative and bring innovative thought process into what we do in our country, we can utilize our funds and put them where they belong and be able to build our country if we can just save what we have. Unfortunately,
I just cut you short. Even the side of when I did a tour towards the Gambia,
yeah,
even the side, I do realize that the tourism side, there are a lot of sites that Gambia had.
yep,
And
yeah,
if we revitalize it, that revenue, it
that's
would
it.
be a good, I mean, a great benefit for the Gambia.
Absolutely.
So I'm working with my colleagues from Greenwich University, whereas we are working on a project to we are writing on a book on the solutions, the challenges that Gambia are facing today on the side of tourism. Because we went to the locals, we talked to people, and we investigate beyond the limit of what they are giving us. Because this will give us an entirely of the test we want the book to have, and the impact. Because the easiest way today to communicate to people, I believe, I've discovered poetry as a gift, part of what I'm doing. But today, my voice, where it has reached, it's due to this field. So I need to utilize it and give Gambians what they need to know about their country. It's not only for me to write pleasurably for you to read and feel happy about it, but for you to write, learn something that maybe you have known, but you don't pay attention to it. And that is one aspect of it. So corruption, I guess a lot of manipulations is going around this clock of corruption. It has gone to an extent that I believe that on a certain level, our minds, have been, used, because we will see certain issues that are happening, and the way the story will turn up and the way we will twist it to the public, looking at the population, I mean, the average people who had knowledge and understanding towards certain government works and whatever, donors and everything. It's a little number out of a lot. And therefore, we don't have that 100% accessibility towards the village level to teach them, okay, what is really happening. So with my book, I'm seeing that people are coming all the way from Faye, from Bassirou, I mean, during my event, just to get them, because they know most of the time what I talk about, I don't look into your eyes because we are related, or I know you, or I'm a bit affiliated to you. No, that's not me. And that's why I want to remain independent, because I'm in here for my country, not for any personal individual or any government that is going to come later. So I'm in here for Gambia. So anything that is concerning us with our situations, I, Sophia, hence I'm breathing, my pen will be ink.
Okay. Your pen will be ink. Sorry.
Awesome.
Okay. So, Sam, thank you. Thank you, Sam. And let me come on this one because he touched something will really make me ask this question. She's determined to be, she's always talk about my country. And that's what we the writers, we are passionate about our countries. I mean, that's the reason why writing is very difficult. If you're not passionate about creating something to the world or to humanity, you will not write. Whoever is writing for make money, forget about it. You're wasting your time. Because it's so much thing that goes into it. So you gotta love it. You gotta be able to be a creator, somebody who has this commitment to make a difference, regardless how much time you spend, how much work it entails. Because you can write 50 pages and scrap everything because we read over and think, man, what a garbage that who's gonna read this? My first time of writing, I wrote 50 pages, I threw it in the garbage. Wasted tons of time. I started again 5 years before I came up with my with the publication.
Because you want something perfect. That's one basic aspect of it.
Until I got something I wrote, and then when I wrote the manuscript, the draft, and I sent it to somebody, he said, "You damn know what you're talking about." When that person told me that in the story, then I said, "Man, this is publishable." And that's when I went and turn it around. Switch. It's like a house. You cut the corners. You fix this part. You fix this part until it become and then the editors will come and decipher everything. And my first, since mine was a fiction, and my one of the editor came after I thought I
You
was,
must be a great thinker.
huh?
I
Oh
said
yeah,
you must
I'm
be
a
a creative one.
storyteller. I call myself that because that one, you have to, and I always think that's the more difficult because you are creating everything to make sense. If anybody
Yes.
read that book, and I even give the book to the president and my party and all the elected officers, they read the book, their feedback that the book was good. If you're not a good thinker, you'll get lost or contradict yourself or
Yeah.
end up acting.
It's very critical.
Yes, very
I started
critical.
working on a novel that I will reveal later part, not this year, but I know it's
Yeah,
not easy.
it's the most, I would say it's the most difficult one, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because creative writing, Sam, I mean, if you read the book, trust me, as somebody don't make
And you have to make the reader turn the pages.
yeah, and they don't make connect, and you read something behind and you say, man, this doesn't make sense, then you're gonna get feedback. So before you publish it, people have to read and make sure. One of the editor that really gave me hard time to go all over my novel again and kind of rewrite it was that each and every this thing, what do you call it, I mean each and every um each person who was participating in that who's have a role in that novel, each supposed to have a voice, and my voice, the voice of everyone when they talk is the same. So I have to go and change. Like Sam's voice has to be different in writing than Sophia's voice.
I like podcast, and that's one as basic aspect of it, storytelling.
I'm telling you. So if
Yeah.
you talk, if your line, if you write your line, if I write your line, Sam, it will be different. You will know, even not putting your name next to that line, you'll know
Oh
Sam.
no.
And then Sophia is talking. Man, I said I had to do all this. He said it has to be, everybody's voice has to be different. And your style, their style of talking. So you have to create a style of talking of Sophia and words that is familiarly used, like Alhamdulillah, Inshallah, all those things has to be consistent all throughout the novel. And Sam, you probably will use some American English, you know, you know what I'm saying? So that has to be consistent all throughout. So we will know, once you mention that, we know Sam is talking without putting on the code, said Sam, or Sam said this. So there's a lot of things into it, and I'm pretty sure people who are watching this and want to be feature writers, it's not easy. But just like Sophia too, I did not go to school for it. I just read books and developed passion for it, and then just started writing for 5 years until I came up with something. So, but you have to have passion for it.
Of course, and focus. It has taken a lot of my time. Looking at it, you thinking critically and to come up with something unique. Being in the market again to market a book and explain to people what you have is not an easy task. But with the help of Allah, when you're consistent and you have passion towards what you're doing, definitely you will reach that far.
Right. So one thing that I want to mention is that, are you in any way or shape pointing out the government in any of this book that you wrote? Because I think that, you are passionate about.
Yeah, I talk about Mr. Government, and part of the
and
title.
what about Mrs. Government and Miss Government?
Okay, part of the title, I do have a chapter where I mention in general Africa's problem. And what are Africa's problem is electricity, water, proper education, lack of focus on agriculture. Okay. Like our former president would say, grow what you eat and eat what you grow. So this aspect of our governments in Africa, I can say as a whole, we all have that similar problem. So what can we do to tackle these issues? On the side of health too, don't forget. So that topic really touches everything that I wanted to say. Partly, I do mention, okay, I do caption it as Africa's problem, but I try to talk about our problems inside it.
Yeah. Very good, very good. So so in other words, you don't talk directly to the power. You don't talk directly to the power.
Yeah. But I do, like when you read the poems, you will know what I am trying to figure out here. You will know exactly what this girl is trying to talk about. And that's the basic aspect of it. Because I cannot give you also like the topics, I cannot come and give you direct speech of what I want to say. Because you know, in poetry, you have to come with a unique language and speak to people in a different format. And whosoever read it, you'll be like, I have to take my time and see what is she talking about. And that's quite make it interesting.
Okay. So is your book for people who have advanced education or who are poetry minded or who are, you know, who are mediocre, or if a Tom, Dick, and Harry? Because
everybody can read it and understand what I'm trying to say. I don't use big grammars to define what I want to talk about. I just use simple English.
Because you said that you come in a different way. So
because there's a unique way of putting your stances together. Okay. If I want to talk to you directly, there's a way, right? But if I have to start in the language of poetry, there is a way. And that's somehow different. Okay. Like here, 146. I'll talk about, let me read an example for you to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was gonna come to that, but that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, read some footage. That will make me interested to grab the book. Yeah.
Okay, when I talk about the water issue, right? Let me go to the most interesting aspect, and that is health, which is a key thing. And you know, the acute kidney problem we all had with, and the 66 babies that had passed away, died. And I said, do you listen to our health? Decades of struggle in our hospitals with time limits of amounted victims. Either it's complaint of lack of drugs or proper girl and health care management. And I said again, the community looks poor and the service is slow on timely payment of salaries to our doctors. I have lost confidence in the health of my village, entangled with the problem of acute kidney failure. And then I said, for kids have lost the strength of their faith for life, more images of death emerges as people of different health experts have come to talk about different factors of its crisis. Then I said, forgetting being left the real trouble behind, declaring headlines as the practices as the paracetamol and E. coli is the cost. And I said, hail, guilt covers our faces. I asked you who control the drugs. Do they have the equipment that can analyze the potency, the standard needed to determine the drug safety? Look up to a sad nation we want to be, no machine to counter a solution, lack of medical scientists for outbreaks, to be tackled. Then I said, we urge African leaders to hear the skins. And I said, mop the floors and repair the wrinkles of our healthcare sector. And I guess you understand what I'm trying to talk about.
Okay. Did our African leaders, what was that? That part really.
And I said, we urge African leaders to hair the skins of our body. That's what I'm trying to say. And mop the floors and repair the wrinkles of our healthcare system.
Right. So what I see what you're doing here is very good. I mean, even the poetic aspect of it alone is even it's even entertaining. That's the strength of poetry. Now, but why generalize it? Why not call on our president and his government? Why not? What is the problem? We are in a free country. I mean, we have the rights, we democracy. I mean, what's the problem?
That's the wisdom part of it. When you read it, you will know what I'm talking about. And
because when you say African leaders, I mean, that's broad. That's a little bit vague. I mean, like, we don't have the
we don't have similar problem. Though I talk about the health sector and I pinpoint that aspect, but I've touched a little bit of by broadening it, okay, to talk about generally the problem of what we are facing today, because it's true. Some Africans don't have a good healthcare system.
Right.
But partly, I do brought that topic inside to give a little bit of taste towards what I want to talk about.
Okay.
And that's key.
And I think any Gambian that reads the book will understand this is for Gambia. We are talking about the Gambia, so that's what you're talking about. And,
right. No, what I'm saying is that she's still, I think she's in good hands if she really even make it like narrower and just hit the nail on the because the thing is like when you it's not like this is the same things we talk about here, right? And it's the same thing, right? We talk about here and we call on those who are responsible for it. He's making it in a book format that would even with the poetry behind it. So I think that will even go down. It's good still, but I'm saying it's also okay, to even say our Gambian government. You don't even have to say the person's name or whatever, but you can really say that. I mean, you still are gonna be okay. But again, Sophia, you are the writer, you are the author of the book, so you call the shots. That's fine. But I'm just saying that that's also gonna really you are in good hands in that aspect too, because your book, everybody use their platform or use their medium to speak the truth to the power. And if you don't do that, us who comes here every Sunday, because we have passion for our country, there are people who are voiceless, and we feel like coming here, interacting with them in this way would really make a difference.
True.
So you are using your book, to also transmit the same message. But again, not everybody reads, and I'm coming to that too. That is my next question. I had issues when I wrote my first book. Gambians are not the one that supported me. You ask them, they said, oh, we know about arranged marriage. Oh, we know about this, we know about that. There's nothing new in there that we didn't know. But Gambians don't know that writing alone, the art of writing, is entertaining. The characterization, because me, I'm character-based. I approach my fictional writing from character-based. I made character driven. The characters, drives my, my thing. Because my protagonist is Mary, which is a young lady about 15, 16 years old, who was denied of education to go and marry to a wealthy minister. So that's a character given at the time of the Jawara's government. I brought that in there. I even talk about the President Jawara's government there during that time. And this man called Edward, who was a minister of agriculture or somewhere, was using his power to get this young girl to marry, and then the family and the uncles were helpless because they were looking at, the benefits of having their child, their child married to a wealthy man. So the drama there and all of that. So these are character driven. So each and everyone has a personality that they show, and then people are following how I had this person, the Mary's mother, how she was acting the whole time during the story. I had Sidhu, how Sidhu was acting the whole time, try to be, controlling the family, try to be controlling her sister for the daughter to get married, and so forth. So you can see people are saying people want to be like this person. People want to be. Some people, I like Mary. Because of Mary, I even want to read this book, because the way she was fighting and standing up to them, and then so this is all
You really have to work on for it to be acted.
exactly. So this is
was
how.
very interesting.
Yes. So this is how, people write. So I was taking that approach. Some people, would maybe go through the storyline, or maybe just, other approaches. But these are all involved in writing. And you don't know it until you get into it, and then started, getting into it, and knowing about it. But what I'm trying to say here is that we using our medium to speak to the power. And it doesn't mean that you are anti this, you're anti that, you're anti that. No. So I think moving forward as a young writer, you have a tool now. You just gotta make sure that, you just gotta make sure that you call the shots, in a safely manner, and that that you're not really falsifying anything. Because to tell you the truth, the reason why I distanced myself before from writing non-fiction, I don't want to get sued. I want to make sure I got my facts.
Yes,
Now,
very important.
With fiction, I could be talking about Sam who was live in a book. And you know what Sam said? Sam would say, I'd look at the book and say, damn, this guy is talking about what can I do? Because I didn't mention his name.
Yeah.
I put everybody in the book, different character. I can be talking about President Jammeh. I can be talking about our president in a book, in fiction. As long as I said it's fiction, nobody can sue me. Nobody can come after me. So that's the reason why, as a newbie, as a starter, I said, let me take the safe road. Because if I want to write like Sophia was writing, I'll be like, I probably will be jailed during Jammeh's time. Because that's when I wrote that book. So it was during Jammeh's time. So I'll be behind bars. So these are all things that people have to write. If you're gonna write nonfiction, make sure that you get your facts. You cannot
noted. As a starter, just you're gonna pardon me for that, but let's see what happens as time goes on. As for now, this is in my best interest to subhanallah. Sorry. I'm losing it. Oh
wow. Yeah, so Sophia, we're gonna go because I don't want to take too much of your time. And Sam
no, it's a connection even, but it's kind of giving a problem.
Yeah, because I know you have errands to take care of, but we're gonna quickly go over
but this is a very interesting topic, and alhamdulillah, thank you for inviting me over to at least dribble into the book and give people a taste of what I have at heart. And and I pray for your platform to grow bigger, because you guys are doing extremely well. And don't underrate the message that you are sending across to the Gambians. Maybe I will not comment, I will not come and show up myself of what you're doing, but definitely the honest ones that are behind are really watching and paying a big attention to your platform. And for you and Uncle Sam, I pray that Allah make it easy upon your shoulder. And we as young people, we are looking forward for a greater Gambia. I believe that a lot of things will change, inshallah, over the years that are coming, because We have a lot of young people that are venturing into different aspects of our field of studies. And our dream is to uplift Gambia and take it to another level. So this is one of the biggest achievement I can say you as an individual are doing for your country. A lot of people cannot do it. So we are very, very grateful with the turnout.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I would like Sam to comment because he's also a role model and a very seasoned individual, more seasoned than me actually. I call him my big brother. You know, he has tons of experience all corners of life. I mean, like we're proud of him. So let him come out and weigh in here. Even if he doesn't have I mean much knowledge about areas, but he put his two cents together. Him and
Yeah.
Famara and Madam Boj, who are not here, they all actually you know, has tons of experience. So I think, you know, what we are given in this platform, trust me, that 1 hour of our time on a Sunday, you know, is a blessing in disguise. I mean, like it's I know it touches a lot because I got feedbacks and so forth. And I tell people, listen, as long as we're here, we're gonna give our quarters to our community, our Gambia, our the world, and whoever can benefit. I mean, we might talk garbage here, but at least some at one point we will talk something fruitful that will benefit one
It's not
party at
garbage.
least.
It's a fruitful discussion, I
Yeah.
believe.
But
Absolutely.
Sam, you know, comment Sam, and then we can allow sister to
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Absolutely. We can wrap it up and not take much time. Yeah. Sophia, like I said earlier, I am really proud of you, and I'm proud of what you've done so far. And like I said, the sky is the limit for you. So continue to do what you're doing. And as you grow into this, I'm sure you will gain more experience in writing, and you can only get better. So keep doing what you're doing, mashallah. So thank you for all of that. The question I have for you is: have you published this book already? If so, how can I get a copy?
It's on Amazon. Just type
Excellent.
words and work. I can send you the link to get access to it. And
Okay.
you can have it on the Kindle Stores as well.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought maybe you have some copies. That's fine. So I'll send us something. Send us the link, and Mr. Sawaneh and I can click on and be able to look
Thank
at
you
it.
for the support. That is
Yeah, definitely.
really
I was just gonna say if you have copies in the Gambia too.
okay. Yeah,
I'm
I have
planning.
copies with me too. So if you need it, the hard copy, no problem. I can. We can talk about it later.
Okay, okay, yeah. I'm
It's
planning on
just
coming to
$1,000 in
Gambia.
the Gambia. In the
In the Gambia.
Gambian
Okay,
price.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I could either get one from online or maybe when I come to
Oh,
Gambia, I can get a copy of physical book. So, which will be
thank
good.
you so much.
Yeah. I'd like to support people like you. You're doing a great job, and you are a role model for young girls in the Gambia. And I believe people are going to look at you and look at the work that you have done and all the support that you are getting from and the feedback that you're getting from people. And they're going to role model. They're going to try to follow you as a role
A lot. I guess I saw a lot of copies.
already.
A lot of people are coming forward to support me in this journey that I'm into.
Absolutely, absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
really
And
amazing.
and I
Yeah.
would say that feel free if you're writing another one. Feel free, and if you free to get all of me or Mr. Sawaneh if you're writing another
Okay.
one and you want detailed stuff about corruption and how do we control corruption. I have a lot of
No
ideas on that.
problem.
I have released a lot of
Thank
audios for the past 3 or 4 years that
So
have
I
gone
was not wrong when I say he's a masterpiece. Man. The
so
brother, the
you. It's good.
brothers have these brothers are, you know,
I am not
amazing.
a writer, but I'm a speaker. How about that?
Exactly. This man
So,
can
It's
talk, man.
beautiful.
Yeah,
thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much
so
for your
much.
time. Yeah, thank you.
I'm
definitely,
glad.
definitely. Sophia, I mean, like I said, this is passion for me because I just published one book and like I said,
Mhm.
I just, you know, finished, you know, my courses and then going back, you know. So I mean, for me, this is my life. I mean, like it's always been I mean, and I also write every day. It's just that I haven't published yet. But what I would tell young people, because I know Gambians don't read, it's an issue. When I went on a book tour in 2010, Really got a lot of feedback. Atlanta, UK, and other places. I traveled in the Gambia with Dangerous Love. And that one also is in Amazon, it's still selling. I sell thousands of books on that.
Mashallah.
Thousands
Wow.
of books in the United States here. I remember I ordered 5,000 books and all books
Mashallah.
physically. It was a truckload of books in my house. I mean, we do a lot of book signing. To tell you the truth, that book really, really, really was a success. And
Oh,
you can also
that's
check it
great.
out in Amazon. I mean, it's still there in Kindles and so forth. But
Okay.
I just didn't have the ability or chance to put another one. But again, these are inspiration to our young people.
Mm-hmm.
If you have passion for something, go for it. And you are an
Yeah.
example, you are a role model today for these people. And I hope they look up for you and then explore their potential. You might not be a writer, you could be something else. But
Yeah.
everybody should be exploring what their potentials are and become
Mm-hmm.
successful. So I'm glad that you don't have to be a writer. In Hermitage High School, I was a science student. I was not a literature student. But people who are in literature, we are not even in writing now. So you see how
Yeah.
the shift goes. People are in engineering and they become politicians and become presidents. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be something. Jawara was a veterinary and he became president. Borough was real estate in real estate. He was not a
And
politician.
today is
So
yeah.
so people can switch. You can switch passion. It depends on when do you discover it. When did you discover it in the get go, or you did you discover it along line? I was in computers. Now I'm in real estate.
Yeah.
So you see how the difference is. People switch careers at any given time, and I'm also a writer too. So you can see the I never had the background of it before. So the passion changes as you see what you are capable of. So I want our young people to really look into what they're capable of and focus on that and make headways like you did. So we're very proud of you, like Sam said,
Thank you.
and we were gonna keep in touch with you, support you, work together
Thank you.
and make Gambian, a better place in the whole world. And also speak
I'm
truth to the
grateful.
power. Okay? Speak truth to the
I'm
continue to
grateful.
speak truth to the power. Because if you're authentic self and you speak truth to the power, really you earn all the respect and God is pleased with you. And that is what's more important.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so
your
much.
final words.
I'm humbled by that.
Your final words.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunity to be on this platform and granted us the strength to at least share the little things we have. I am urging on Gambians, yes, to adopt the culture of reading. You have made mention of something very important, and I believe this is one of the key problems that most of the writers of today are facing in Gambia. They don't know where and how to sell the book. It's a big problem. I'll have a lot of people that will question me, how do you maneuver to do these things at the same time you're selling? I tell them, well, I try to go all out. Social media handles, your friends, families, try to use every bit of opportunity you have in front of you and to go on YouTube, learn about marketing strategies of how to penetrate the market with your book. Because if you have your product, you understand your product more than any other person. So I guess you will be a better position to sell it out to the general public. And I'm urging Gambians that we need to have in every home a library. This will encourage a lot of young people to adopt reading. Not just having a public library, but in every home that we build now, we need to try and get a small library for our kids. Because reading develops your ability of how you vision things. And right now, not everything that you can do within the classroom alone is sufficient. You need to get in touch with certain books. The field that you are into is in specific, you need to go beyond what the teacher is giving you and to conquer that from the darkness to light is through reading. And through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's statement, He said we should go in search of knowledge if it's from here up to sin. that is on the side of our prophet. He advises us towards it. So knowledge is something that we need to seek by all means. And as young people into our society of what we are seeing today, the culture of reading is very, very dark. So we need to do something that is send in sensitizations, try to encourage people, open books. If you don't open, you will not know. And that's the last statement I can say that I have for them.
Thank you. Thank you. And then thank you for our listeners, Sam. Thank
I
you.
say thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Take care. All right.
Bye now.
Thank you.